Okay, welcome to the rotator cuff exercises in side lying with dumbbell video. So this is the position you need to be in. So you're laying on your good shoulder, okay, and this is the affected shoulder, okay. You also need your dumbbells, okay, or you can, half a kilo in a dumbbell is the same as half a kilo of, Mount Franklin bottle with 500 millilitres of water. It doesn't really matter. If you don't have the small dumbbells, you don't have access to them, you can use something with very similar weight. Just use your kitchen scales to weigh it out to make sure you're quite accurate there. Alright, so this exercise is indicated when you have weakness within the rotator cuff, but you also need to have at least 3/4 range of motion in all directions, okay, of your shoulder, pain-free. Okay, you definitely don't want to be doing this exercise if your shoulder's quite sore and inflamed. Okay, it will definitely make it worse. Okay, so you've gone through the inflammation phase of the shoulder, you've gone through the stretching phase, okay, and then you're on to the strengthening. Okay, so with any strengthening exercise, we're looking at 3 sets of 12 with a minute break. Okay, making sure you're doing it, once a day. Okay, every day, and you also need to continue that for 4 weeks. Okay, you're really not going to see a lot of strength changes within the first couple of weeks. It's really towards that 3rd and 4th week where you start to see those results. Now you must slowly increase the weight that you lift every week. So for example, today we might start on half a kilo. Okay, you might do 7 of those sessions in 7 days. And then you move to 1 kilo. It's not a big increase, okay, but the rotator cuff muscles aren't very big muscles. They don't require big, heavy weights. If you feel like you're lifting heavier weights, what you're doing is you're utilising the deltoid, the upper trapezius and the bicep and all the other muscles that don't need to be involved, okay. We just want to focus on the small rotator cuff muscles, so we need very small weights. Even if you're a big, strong person, it doesn't matter. Small weights are best. They'll isolate the rotator cuff muscle. So half a kilo the first week, a kilo the second week, a kilo and a half the third week, and 2 kilos the 4th week. Some people might progress a little bit faster than that, and you might be able to get 1 kilo 1 week, 2 the next, 3 the next, 4 the next. It depends on the size of the person and how quickly they can get through these exercises and how often they can do it. Also depends on the severity of the condition, how long it's been weak for. Now, technique with this is absolutely critical. There's a lot of things that have got to go right so you can isolate the rotator cuff muscle. Alright, so the first one is the elbow. The inside of the elbow must be glued to the rib cage. Okay, you don't want to be lifting it up into that position because that'll activate the deltoid, which is a bit pointless. Okay, so keeping that nice and tight. If you really struggle to kind of keep, or the elbow keeps lifting up, you can get someone just to kind of push down, just very lightly, while you're doing the technique, just to minimise the usage of the deltoid. The second one is we need 90-degree angle in here. That needs to be maintained at all times. Okay, so what we don't want is the arm coming out into that position and going towards the mouth. Okay, so making sure it stays 90 degrees at all times. The one that most people get wrong is the wrist starts breaking. Okay, so it drops down and drops back like that. You really want neutral position, okay, which is a straight line there and straight underneath there. You don't want to be twisting that. As soon as you start doing that particular technique, you start activating your forearm extensors and flexors, and pointless once again because we want to be focusing on the rotator cuff, which are right up here in the shoulder blade, okay, in the shoulder, okay. Now, you've got to get all of those right, because if you get just 1 or 2 of them wrong, it just changes the way the whole system works. So you've got to make sure every single technique is absolutely perfect. So let's run through a complete technique here. So we're starting on the belly, okay. We've got the elbow pushed down, we've got 90 degrees, the wrist is straight, and 2 seconds to go from the belly up to the top. You can see there's not going to be high enough, okay. We've got to go that little bit extra, okay, to get into the end of the range of the rotator cuff. Alright, that area might feel a little bit sore when you first start doing these, okay, so you might just kind of just go through 3/4 of the range. Just maybe do a couple of sessions of that for the first couple of days, and then when you get a bit more confidence, that's when you can go a little bit higher, maybe on the 5th and 6th day. Okay, but this exercise is designed to reduce strain on the shoulder, not increase it. So if it's feeling sore, make sure you avoid that task. Alright, so we're starting at the belly. It's taking us 2 seconds to go up. There's no pausing at the top, okay, only 2 seconds to go down. So that's the speed of the movement, okay? And like I mentioned before, we're doing 3 sets of 12 with a minute break. So with your minute break, you obviously take it out of your hand, give it exactly a minute break, pop it back in the hand, and then you do your other 12, okay? You're not doing this exercise multiple times throughout the day. You do it the once, so you should be doing 36 repetitions, and then you need 24 hours break before you do it again. That's essential, okay? If you're doing this twice in the day, you will cause repeated inflammation within the muscle. They won't be able to heal properly, and you won't go anywhere. You'll make your shoulder worse, okay? Now, if the anterior or the front part of the shoulder is sore for about half an hour after your exercise that you've done, that's fine, but if the shoulder is sore for more than half an hour, it basically means that you've gone too high with your technique. So keep in mind that for next time, you might just back that angle off. Okay, we do not want the front of the shoulder being sore. That's where the most important tendon attaches onto, and you're irritating that if the pain's lasting longer than half an hour. Okay, now if you, after you finish your exercise, if this part of your arm is sore, it means that you're lifting your elbow up too high, okay, and you're activating the deltoid. So you might need to get someone to help you just to kind of push that down next time while you're doing the technique, okay. Now, with this rotator cuff exercise, you know, if you are quite weak, this is where you should start, okay, and then as you get fitter and stronger and it becomes a lot easier, you'll have to progress to the theraband exercises, which are on the website, and they're in standing, okay, and then you can progress them in that position. But this is really just the early stages, okay, and it's the more simpler of all the rotator cuff exercises, okay. Thanks for watching.